Good morning, everybody, and a happy Saturday morning to you. You guys, we've all heard rumors that Meghan was keeping a diary, and apparently it's true. We have a lot to cover in here. My goodness, let's just jump in and get busy, shall we? Let's go. We are going to start off with Prince William and Princess Catherine. They're looking at schools for George. They're not, knocking anything out just yet. They apparently went to Oundle School, I believe is how you say it. It costs £59,000 a year. It was founded in 1556. It has a beekeeping club. And former Iron Maiden singer, former rock star used to go there. His name is Bruce Dickinson. He was there in the 70s. Anyway, they're still pondering, where to send him, and I'm sure we'll know soon enough. Let's move on now to Queen Camilla. She visited the Fan Museum in Greenwich. And while she was there, she was presented with the fan that features in her official coronation portrait that was done by Paul Benny. I just think that's lovely. In case you didn't notice, the Duchess of Gloucester was with her. The Duchess of Gloucester is a liveryman of the Worshipful Company of Fan Makers. And so they viewed the exhibition that was going there, about 80 fans spanning 3 centuries of royal history, including 2 from Camilla's personal collection. For those of you who may not know, the Queen has been the patron of the museum since 2008. The fan that Camilla received took 3 years to complete. It has the Queen's favorite flowers on it. There's lavender, there's butterflies, there's a dragonfly representing George and the dragon. And the artist also included the constellation of stars from the Queen's birth date in the design. Camilla unveiled a lovely plaque. Looks just great. I'm glad that Duchess of Gloucester went with her. Let's continue. A big thank you to Carol M. for showing us what Camilla was wearing on this outing. Let's move on. Next up, we have Secret Weapons Sophie. On the night of May 6th, she attended the 4th annual Orbis Visionaries reception in London. This highlights the ongoing efforts to eliminate avoidable blindness globally. And since she is the global ambassador for the International Agency for the Prevention of Blindness, she joined eye care experts to advocate for universal access to vision care. And during the reception, she participated in a live demonstration of virtual reality surgical training technology. Pretty cool. I love that dress on her. A big thank you to Remoulade Sauce and Carol M. for your takes on what she was wearing. Let's continue. Next up, we have King Charles and the Duke of Kent, who now is 90 years old. They were going to the service of dedication and commemoration for the Order of St. Michael and St. George. Now, this is the king's first service since his accession to the throne. This order recognizes service in a foreign country or in relation to foreign and Commonwealth affairs. It is an order of chivalry and honors that are granted by the king on the advice of the Prime Minister each year. A fanfare of state trumpeters played on the west steps of the building when he arrived. He was greeted by the Right Honorable Lady Mayor of the City of London, Dame Susan Langley. He was wearing a light blue cape, complete with collar, of the Order of St. Michael and St. George. He was then welcomed inside by the Duke of Kent, who is the Grand Master of the order, and he, by the way, now is the oldest living member of the royal family. They then went into the chapel for the service. They had the formal procession. They had the seating. The service lasted for about an hour. Charles walked through the cathedral with a choir. The bodyguard of the Honorable Corps of Gentlemen at Arms was there. There was a pearl sword. He stood beside the altar and, gave his speech. He lists the names of the members who had died since the last ceremony. That was read out. It was just a very meaningful service. This order was founded, by the way, in 1818 by the Prince Regent, later King George IV, to commemorate the Ionian Islands being placed under British protection and Malta under British sovereignty. Its original purpose was to recognize and reward the service of citizens in Malta and those islands. It's housed at St. Paul's Cathedral and was formally dedicated in 1906. I do not know who that young man is carrying the King's Cape. I was not able to identify him. But just so you know, this service is done every 4 years. Next up, we have Robert Irwin, the Australian conservationist, son of the famed Steve Irwin, put out a statement where he mentioned the royal family. Remember, Harry and Meghan tried to meet up with this family while they were in Australia and they got rebuffed. So let you just listen to what he had to say.
G'day, it's Robert Irwin here with a couple of my mates. This is, of course, the icon of Australia, the kangaroo. And I am very proud to announce that my friends, the Wales family, helped us to name our beautiful new Joey. Our new Joey's name is Cooch, which is Welsh for cuddle. The absolute perfect name for a Joey kangaroo, because at this age they love a cuddle and they spend most of their time inside that pouch with their mum. I want to say a particular thank you to Prince George, Prince Louis and Princess Charlotte for your help in finding this little one a brilliant name. Thank you for your support with our wildlife conservation efforts. It is so important that we conserve all of our animals, including the icons, the kangaroos. These guys play a very important role in the Australian bush, and out there in the ecosystem, they are just crucial. With all of the animals that we support and all of the wildlife conservation efforts that we have around the world, it's all about making sure we give back to the wildlife and the wild places where they live. So, Cooch is now proudly part of our family here at Australia Zoo. Nice to meet you, little one. Hey. Thank you so much. See you later.
Let's move on to Prince William. He recorded a video message for the 2026 Women's Football Awards ceremony. He wasn't able to attend, so just listen to what he had to say.
Hello everyone. I'm sorry not to be with you in person this evening, but I'm delighted to send my warmest congratulations to everyone involved in the 2026 Women's Football Awards. Tonight's event celebrates not only remarkable sporting achievement, but also the dedication, resilience and leadership that continue to drive the women's game forward, from grassroots to the very top. Women's football has seen extraordinary growth in recent years, and that progress is a result of the players, coaches, volunteers and supporters who believe in its power to inspire and to unite communities. To all tonight's nominees and winners, thank you for what you do and congratulations on your well-deserved recognition. I hope you all have a wonderful evening and I wish you every success for the season ahead.
Next up, we have the Duke of Edinburgh, who is patron of the National Youth Theatre. He was recently seen leaving the repertory company's play of Let the Right One In. In February, he was seen leaving Dracula. He likes to go to the performances. I think he looks fabulous, by the way. I think Edward was looking really snazzy. He looked up actually and said, "Hey, how are you?" He was actually very friendly to the people that were taping. Next up, we have Princess Anne. She's honorary member of the Farmers Club, and she presented the 2026 Pinnacle Awards on May 6th also. Celebrating their 29th year, they recognized top agricultural students with winners honored at a formal dinner, and Anne was seen leaving the dinner. And this is why they say she's one of the hardest working royals. Now let's move on to Prince Andrew. Apparently there was a security incident. He was out for a walk near his home. A man wearing a ski mask apparently walked up to him and threatened him. Well, actually, the man was sitting in his car. He got out of the car when Andrew was about 50 yards away, shouting at him as he walked up to Andrew. Now, Andrew had a member of his private security team with him, and he was rushed towards his own car, parked nearby, and he drove away at speed, apparently, as the suspect tried to run after him. So my original thought was, I bet this isn't real. You know, it happened on public land near the parkland, and it was close to Marsh Farms, but he was out with the dog. So I thought he's probably just doing this to try to get, his security back that doesn't have to be paid for privately. Well, when I'm wrong, I'm wrong. They actually arrested somebody Wednesday evening. I guess maybe they got the tag number off of the car. So the man, they haven't named him because a British privacy rule, was arrested on suspicion of a public order offense and possession of a weapon. Let's go back to the Met. Anna Wintour, they're saying, don't even test her loyalty, because if you crossed her or friends of hers, you are persona non grata at the Met Gala. So, we know Meghan Markle was not invited. Romeo Beckham made his Met debut this year. However, Brooklyn and his wife, who for the past 2 years were there, have been frozen out because Anna Wintour is friends with David and Victoria Beckham. So even though Brooklyn and his wife were there in 2021, 2022, 2023, and 2024, not this year. Everybody knows that Anna Wintour is very close to the Queen. She loves the royal family. She's close to David and Victoria Beckham. I mean, Meghan didn't play this well at all. She is frozen out. That's what happens when you start to think you're better or above other people. Let's move on. All right, this next story just kind of got me. All right, photographer Chris Jackson, he was at Highgrove. He took a picture of a table with a couple of pictures on it, and he shared it on Instagram, and there were 2 pictures on the table. One was Prince Harry with William and the King, and the other one was King Charles with Prince Louis, his grandson. Well, it came out that in 2024, influencer Lydia Millen took a picture of the same table, and there used to be a wedding photograph of Meghan on there, and now it's gone. It seems to me that Charles is trying to rid the house of evil. He should probably get some sage and run around and do some feng shui stuff to make sure it's all gone. Let's move on now. Dickie Arbiter has claimed that Harry and Meghan's marriage always looked a little bit dodgy for quite some time, and that Harry has lost his way since leaving the royal family. Now remember, this man was the press spokesman for Queen Elizabeth from 1988 till 1999, and he was on Talk TV, Jeremy Kyle's show, where the pair of them were discussing the internal strain in Harry and Meghan's marriage and the comments ahead of their 8th wedding anniversary, because despite persistent outside speculation, they've consistently declined to address any of the rumors. Well, maybe they don't want to address the rumors because they're true. He said, and I'm quoting, Harry got married to someone who just pulled him right down into nothing. He also said that Harry's return to the UK would be imminent. Okay, let's move on. They're saying that Prince William and Princess Catherine, the Princess of Wales, are being hailed for getting it exactly right when it comes to showcasing their children to the public, while Harry and Meghan are getting slammed because they keep bumbling every attempt that they make. And we know that when Charlotte turned 11, there was a little video putting out, showing she was sporty and these fabulous pictures. They let people know a little bit about the children. They show their faces, and you don't feel grubby when you look at the pictures because they're being given to people in the spirit of respectful friendliness. Harry and Meghan, however, are a completely different story. They're saying that when pictures are put out, they're in awkward poses, their faces aren't directly visible. Their PR strategy is the complete opposite of William and Catherine's. And the way the children's faces are hidden all the time, it's like you're made to be feeling guilty for looking at them. It's like their parents are saying our children are being exposed and exploited, and we don't need to see their faces. I mean, it's like, who's actually putting them on Instagram in the first place? That would be Meghan. Meghan is constantly going on about privacy, but she's the one who keeps flooding social media with photos and videos of the children. And right after Charlotte's birthday, we get reports that Harry is so sad because his children aren't close to the family in the UK. While they're having a great time in California, Harry is sad that they're missing out on life with the rest of the family. He feels his children are missing out on the extensive family network that the cousins are enjoying. Well, of course they are, but whose decision was that? That was his and Meghan's decision. You decided to move to California. You decided to slam and attack your family at every turn. Now we're hearing Harry wants the children to have the very best education. And so he's trying to get the children back to the UK so that they can have family get-togethers. The family is never going to accept them. We've even heard from Harry, if the children want to be working royals, he hopes that's available. That will never happen either. I'm sure Thomas Markle is available if you'd like to get a grandfather involved. Now, on another note, they're saying that, Harry and Meghan are running out of money. We've heard that before, but the only issue is Harry's only marketable skill is complaining about every slight that he's ever felt from his family, and it's expired. No, it's not worth it. Nobody wants to hear it anymore. He's gone through all the cash that was left to him by his family, and now they're saying it may be time for another reinvention. This is a man, though, who's never had a 9-to-5 job, who lectures people on workplace wellness, and we are desperately looking forward to their scripted polo drama that sounds distinctly like Dame Jilly Cooper's hit Disney show, Rivals. But frankly, the public isn't just exhausted of Harry's moaning, we're exasperated. Really, there's only so many times you can bite the hand that feeds you. You are a 41-year-old man profiting from your family's private pain while making all these claims that you think you're still a working royal in one breath and making veiled jabs at them the next. I mean, get over it. All right, before we move on to our big story, this came from Krista Benson on Twitter. She came up with some new candles based on the Sussex family. You've got number 804, a loud rose and cheap champagne floral blast screaming, "Look at me," before trapping you in a burnt sugar vanilla hostage situation. You have number 915, bitter orange, eucalyptus, sage, and faded leather, aka a rich man having a nervous breakdown in a private members club. There's number 506, ginger, neroli, and cashmere, bringing soft, cozy, spare by inheritance energy. And number 604, amber, water lily, and santal, the only one here actually minding its business and smelling gorgeous. As ever, but somehow also as therapy. All right, let's get into our big story from today. This is from the Daily Fail. They're talking about 4 powerful women who won't let Meghan Markle fail, and they have a secret plot for her future. So here's essentially what the article has. Because Meghan Markle is out of favor and out of momentum, she's narrating what's going to happen next. And there's a group of power players, a very carefully curated circle of 4 women, all billionaires and all deeply embedded in Hollywood power. You have Oprah Winfrey and the less well-known, at least in the UK, former Starbucks chair Melody Hobson, US TV titan Shonda Rhimes, who's the producer behind Bridgerton, and Nicole Avant, who is married to the CEO of Netflix, Ted Sarandos. Supposedly, they're not close friends in a social day-to-day sense, but they operate within the same Montecito and Hollywood power ecosystem, and it overlaps. And they are part of a wider, informal, but highly active group of influential figures based between Montecito and Los Angeles. And they're in constant contact, and they have constant off-camera conversations. And there's an extended circle that includes, if you can believe this, Tyler Perry, Gayle King, and even Meghan's mother, Doria Ragland. They're all very busy. They're not sitting having brunch every week. But if one of them needs something, advice, funding, a contact, they show up because that's how power works at that level. And together they offer something far more valuable than a night at the Met. They give insulation, access, and when needed, intervention. And all of them, as it turns out, are quietly aligned with the same prize, a project that insiders say could be the biggest global entertainment coup of them all, not to mention a royal PR catastrophe, and that's Meghan's autobiography. Now, we know when they came back to California, they stayed in Tyler Perry's home. Then they purchased their home, which is 14,500 square foot. Then you got a problem because you're unemployed working royals. And even though it's in a strategic location, you've got a problem. So what do? Well, you go and have a sit down with Oprah Winfrey. And this interview really damaged the royal family's relationship with Harry and Meghan. It really hardened the rift between the Sussexes and the rest of the royal family. And of course, we all know that 17 or 18 allegations by Meghan has been completely debunked, and that's the end of it. Now, they're saying that Oprah's influence extends into their social calendar, saying where Meghan is seen and where she is not. And it was Oprah who encouraged Meghan and Harry apparently to attend Kris Jenner's 70th birthday party last year, on Remembrance Sunday, and it turned out to be a big problem. At the same time, Harry and Meghan are insisting they were invited to Lauren and Jeff Bezos' wedding in Venice, but they chose not to attend because it would be a media storm and they would be called opportunists. Now, Melanie Hobson is married to George Lucas of Star Wars fame, and apparently she was on Archetypes in November of 2022, which was a public endorsement that she has counseled Meghan at length in private. Then you have Shonda Rhimes, who is the architect of Netflix's success through Grey's Anatomy and Bridgerton. And her support, they're saying, is more in terms of positioning, because while Harry and Meghan's deal with Netflix may have gone down the tubes, they're saying it's relationships inside that count. And Rhimes is a gatekeeper. She's a producer close to diplomat Nicole Avant, further cementing the Netflix thread running through Meghan's entire network. And Avant, who's the daughter of a music executive, Clarence Avant, and a former U.S. ambassador to the Bahamas, moves easily through things, and she's married to Ted Sarandos, the CEO of Netflix. Where does that leave Harry and Meghan? Their Archetypes podcast for Spotify ended after one season. Lemonada ended after one season. Her Netflix lifestyle series with Love Meghan was not renewed. Their Polo documentary underperformed with critics and audiences. Her As Ever lifestyle brand has not yet, they're claiming, scaled all the way up. And the broader Netflix relationship has not collapsed, they're claiming. And so, guys, now we've had a persistent rumor that apparently has been confirmed. They're saying that she's going to be doing an autobiography and that she's been taking notes for years, not casually, but methodically. Voice notes on her phone at 1 a.m., written journals, structured reflections. She's been documenting everything since before Megxit. And the value of that material is obvious, because a memoir from Meghan would not just be a book, it's a multi-platform event with global publishing rights, an interview special, and a streaming component. They're saying it could be bigger than Harry's Spare. Publishing plans have been slowing down because Harry's trying to get back in with the family, but she wants the book to be a reset. She wants to tell her version of events because, God forbid, we haven't heard it 50 times in a row. She doesn't want it, they're saying, to be a book of grievances. She wants it to reflect where she is going, not just where she's been. Now, she is acutely aware of the fallout that followed the Oprah interview. She is aware of the fallout from the Spare, and she's going there saying to strike a careful balance. But if anything, this tells you right there that the royal family needs to stay away, because she wants to address part of the backlash to the Instagram story she posted while she was in Paris, when she was filming close to the tunnel. She said she wants to explain the context properly. Meghan is described as being supportive of Harry wanting to get back in with his family, but let's be honest. Meghan needs to stay away from the family. The family needs to stay away from Meghan. That's what it comes down to. So what the Daily Fail is saying here is the Met Gala may not have invited Meghan, but they didn't need her either. She doesn't need them. I'm like, if anything, this article confirms what we've been hearing for quite some time. The royal family needs to stay away. Meghan has a network of women. They're all women of color that have come to Meghan's defense because of her claims of racism, which we've already proved are untrue. But behind those four women, they're saying is a wider network of women in entertainment and media who really believe that Meghan has been given an unfair hearing and that her much publicized missteps are not unforgivable. Yeah, they think she's been treated unfairly. Give me a break. No, I want to throw my own personal comment out here. If she did write a book, I wouldn't buy it because she's already been proven to be such a liar. You know what's in the book. People would probably just buy it to debunk it. I would not spend a dime on it, just like I didn't buy Spare, because I knew it would be full of lies, which again, it was proven later on to be. So I think they overestimate how much it would be worth. All right, you guys, you know what I want. Put those comments down, make them good. Don't forget to hit the like and the subscribe button and the bell for all notifications. Then go down into the description box where you'll find the link to my Twitter, my Gettr, my Rumble, my email, a link to my father's book, which remains up for sale on Amazon, a link to my Amazon wish list, as well as a physical address. For those of you who have donated to my coffee fund, thank you so much. And as always, you guys, have a great day.